Hello, my name is Doug Daberius. I work for Mavenir Systems. I'm responsible for business development in EMEA. I'm very proud to work for Mavenir. Mavenir is a company that provides networking solutions based on software. We've been a long-time adapter of SDN and NFV, even before it existed. We are live in over 10 deployments with Tier 1 operators in the world with virtualized systems today, with different types of network function NFVs. For instance, VoLTE, voice over Wi-Fi, diameter, enhanced messaging, and so forth. And I think that there's a lot of opportunities to help operators transform themselves so they can take advantage of offering new services and new innovation, but also finding ways to cut their costs so that they can handle this data deluge that we're all facing, where the amount of data required is increasing exponentially, but the revenue increases are not following the same rate. So we're helping operators with innovation and also their costs. And being at this event today is just a very good experience. Why is it good to be here? Because if we look at this, we look at the nature of SDN and NFV, this is an ecosystem play. We need to be able to have all the partners together in order to provide a solution that will help the operators and also help the end customers have a rich set of services that work and interoperate in a very practical and useful way. And also help the operators position themselves, regardless of what their goal is in the market, whether or not they want to be just optimal at providing data with a quality of service, or whether or not they want to compete with many different types of innovative services. There are a number of challenges, and the challenges in many cases are that operators, they have to make a profit like everyone else. It's a business, and they have certain business goals, and even if they're very clever and looking at a very high level, they're looking at the big picture of where they want to go, to utilize things like NFV and SDN in order to be able to optimize the network services for the NFV part, but also be able to have optimize the data plane or the data services on the SDN part. They know this, they know what they need to do. But it's very important. There's also a risk. They also have service level agreements with their end customers, and they need to make sure that they do this step by step. And there are many ways of doing this. Mavenir in particular, we can help an operator come in and start with various virtual network functions like IMS, VoLTE, voice over Wi-Fi, diameter, enhanced messaging, and we can allow them start to replace some of these systems. And what we can do in addition to that is we can help them migrate their earlier their monolithic switches, for instance, that they have today that have very high operational costs, and move them into the cloud. And we can help them with the entire path. We have the end-to-end solution, and at the same time, it's not just about Mavenir, it's about working in an open community, and that's why we work with many different partners for the orchestration, which we're orchestration ready. We have the APIs to go with HPs and overtures. We can work on various types of hardware from various types of vendors, various types of virtual hypervisor providers, for instance, VMware, KVM, Dockers, and we work with the community, the open community. So, for instance, ONF or Etsy, we're part of proof of concepts, but we're doing this all the time because we know the telco space, we know the 3GPP space and all the technical specifications, and we're working all the time to bring this into more and more into the NFV, SDN domain, which is a framework, and it requires a lot of interoperability, and we're doing this now. And we have almost over 40 launches that'll be working in the virtualized space over the next year in this type of domain. So there's many operators that are embracing this today and moving along the path to a completely virtualized system. I think in a year, what we're going to see is a considerable number of launches of specific applications. We see a lot of operators looking to use voice over Wi-Fi, for instance, and this is very big. I even have my phone that we borrowed. We have one of T-Mobile in the US, they're one of our customers, and we have a native voice over Wi-Fi in this. There was a launch in Europe recently of a major operator in the UK that's using native voice over Wi-Fi. It's very interesting because the operators now are working with people like Apple and other larger companies that weren't traditionally in the network space. So the environment in the network is changing. That's one thing. There's going to be a lot more of these VoLTE launches where we add VoLTE on top of LTE. Many more rich communication, RCS messaging, enhanced messaging type of launches. Network complexity will help be decreased with virtual utilizations of things like diameter. And I think that's where we're going to be in a year. I think there's going to be a number of proof of concepts that are going to be done that are going to test the entire system. Because the things that I mentioned are virtualization, where you test many things, but what hasn't really been added at a commercial level is the orchestration level. And this is where many proof of concepts are taking place this year. So I'm hoping in the year 2016 we're going to start seeing this complete NFV framework, ETSI-defined vision taking place.